Angelica, can you hear me? I think your microphone is mute.
Oh my God, talking like.
Let's start all over again.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, I was saying like welcome everyone to this webinar. Today we're having the last session on our set of 3 different webinars based, or they were focused on technology for English teaching. And you know, during our first session, Gabriel was talking about technology in the language class. And then we had the second one last week that it was about technology and reading and listening and reading. And today, well, we have our expert, and I'm going to introduce you. We have Andrés Alarcón. He has more than 10 years of experience in the field of education. He holds a master's degree in applied linguistics, and he currently works as an academic consultant for Santillana, Richmond, Colombia. Welcome, Andrés. And we know that, I know that you have a lot of surprises for us. So thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Angelica. As you were mentioning, yeah, the last webinar, you were the expert. This time I have to let those teachers that are connected right now know about those digital tools that they can use in order to help students, develop the productive skills. I remember last session, Angelica, you were mentioning some incredible digital tools for students to develop receptive skills, as you were mentioning, listening and reading. Okay, and today, as I already mentioned, we will be working with writing and speaking. But before we start with those platforms and digital tools that you can use, teachers, I want to let you know, or I want you to think, or I want you to consider that we always need to integrate these 4 skills. I mean, they cannot be separated. Okay, we always need to work all this. I mean, we always need to integrate these 4 skills because this is the way language works. It is like, for example, when you get an email and you of course you have to read that email in order to understand the message that the other person is trying to convey. Okay, you need to comprehend, and then of course if you want to reply, you have to write down something back. Okay, so it happens when you're holding a conversation with somebody else. You have to listen, you have to understand, and then you have to answer. Okay, or you have to formulate a question back so you can actually have a successful conversation. So it means that you all the time need to create your lessons or prepare your lessons, and of course deliver your classes by integrating these four skills. And as you can see, you can find like really well designed lesson plans within the Richmond materials that you're using, especially those books you're using, because as you can see, for example, there is a unit that starts with a vocabulary exercise, but that vocabulary exercise is all the time contextualized by means of a listening exercise, by means of a reading exercise. And after that reading exercise, the book is telling the students to, for example, write something about that content that they just read, okay, from that article. And after that, they have to listen to a conversation that is related to, of course, that topic they were reading in the previous activity. So as you can see, the Richmond like materials you're using right now, you're working with, help you a lot integrating the four skills. Okay, so I also remember that not only you, Angelica, but Gabriel were mentioning the platforms that we have here in Richmond, and one of those platforms that you were mentioning in your webinars was Mayan. Of course, Mayan, as you all know, is a platform that helps students develop reading. Yes, because as you know, and here I'm showing you like the information that Gabriela and Angelica let you know in the previous webinars. You know that it is like a library with more than 6,000 digital books. And also, I remember, Angelica, you were mentioning that most of the books that students can find over there are audio libros, audiobooks, I'm sorry. So you can practice with reading, okay? But at the same time, students will be able to develop the listening skill. Moreover, and what is really important about Mayan is that it is going to also help students develop writing, because Mayan has like a particular section that is called projects development. And in my opinion, it is like the most powerful feature that Mayan has to offer. Okay, and when you as teachers, when you are creating projects, you are able to assign different tasks. One of those tasks is a written report. Okay, so it means that Mayan is not only for reading, okay, and listening, but also it is going to help students develop those productive skills, like for example writing. Let me give you an example. Remember, you gotta go to projects, okay? And then after that, you're going to be able to add these tasks that I'm showing you right now, that I'm pointing right now. For example, you can add a writing task. So you can ask your students that read the book, okay? And after that, come up with a list of words that probably they don't that they learned, that they didn't know before reading that text. You can ask them to come up with a paragraph, okay, following like the steps every single writer needs to follow when writing a paragraph. You can ask your students to also, for higher levels, you can ask them to come up with an essay. You can ask them to come up or to create a descriptive paper, an argumentative paper, okay, an informative paper. All right, so you can do all those things right here by using Mayan. And also, there is another task that you can take advantage of, and that one is graphic organizer. So once again, when you are creating a project, You can choose that book you want your students to read, but also you are going to be able to add more tasks, more activities, and you're going to come up with a really like powerful and well designed project for your students to develop, not only once again reading and listening, but also writing. Okay, here in this information that I'm showing you right now, I mean the chart you have below the tasks. Here you can see that Mayan, when you are creating the writing task, you have different features. For example, word goal and time goal. So you can ask your students to consider the number of words they have to use in order to create whatever the paper you're asking for. Okay, they need to consider the number of words, but also the time. They need to know how to manage time, and this connects with those international exams that teachers, because you're English teachers, I bet that you have taken like some international exams, and in that writing section you're all the time asked to come up with an essay. Sometimes they're asking you to use 200 words, and if you use more than words, more than those like 200 words, probably you're not going to get like the same grade, right?
And
So yes, tell me.
something I there is something important that you mentioned there, and it's about that, like word counting. Sometimes for us as teachers, it is difficult to count words, or it's time consuming, it's time demanding, and I think that's something nice that Mayan has, that is you can just set up the number of words that you want the paper to have, and that's it. Yeah, so I think it's
Yeah, because yeah, as you were mentioning, Angelica, it is like time consuming for teachers to check those reading reports and count the words. Of course there are like some applications that do that, but checking, I mean, uh, one report, I mean report by report, it takes time. Here with my own, well, you're gonna get like, I mean, when the students are actually writing, you're gonna know what is that number of words that they're using. And of course, as I was mentioning, you are giving the chance for students to somehow get familiar with those international exams in which they have to do this type of tasks. Okay, moreover, something really important here, that is another feature right next to the time goal feature. It is called peer review. So if you activate that one, I mean, if you check that one, that feature that Maya has, it is going to give the students the opportunity to work, I mean, to read their partners' reading reports and comment, okay, leave a comment about what they read. So it is like another space for students to work like in an interactive way or a communicative way. Okay, so you can, I mean, the invitation here is to, if you teachers have Mayan, well, it would be great for you to start like using or creating these projects, and of course adding these tasks that you have right here. Something really important that we're going to do in this webinar is that I just want you to leave a heart if you want to start using this platform, okay, based on all the information that I just gave you, but also taking into account all the information that was mentioned in the previous webinars. And if you are already using it, well, you can leave a star and you can leave a comment. You can, leave like some tips for other teachers to start implementing it. These spaces are really good in order to share experiences, okay, and we can learn from each other. Okay, we can learn collaboratively. So that's why it is important for you teachers to use the chat and leave any comment you have about this platform on the chat. Okay.
Andres, like
Yes.
now that you mentioned that, I would like to say hi to, well, some of the teachers that are with us today. We have Andrea Garzón, we have Andres Rueda from Gimnasio Campestre. I mean, we have like Laura Bravo, Lina Muñoz, So, hi to everyone. And just wanted to mention, and this is very important, if you want to receive a certificate at the end of the webinar, you can just register your attendance on the link that is going to be shared with you in a few minutes. Okay, so it's just for teachers to remember that.
Yeah, that
Thank
is
you, Andres.
perfect. Thank you very much for that information, Angelica. So as you can see, teachers, with Mayam, you can develop listening, reading, writing, but also you can come up with a follow-up activity, so you can promote or you can somehow encourage students to do something, okay, in which they can actually share their ideas, express their thoughts based on the reading, based on the book that they read, okay, in an oral way. So in that way, you can connect all four language skills. You can integrate them, as we were mentioning at the beginning of this webinar, okay. And one of those, if you can use a different digital app that helps you do that, that would be great. For example, you can use big, huge labs. I don't know if you've used that digital tool before. Remember that you can leave, all right, a heart if you want to start using it, or a start if you are already using this digital tool. And you can leave a comment or a strategy or a tip, okay, for others to learn. So big, huge labs is going to allow students to use their pictures or photos they have on their cell phones or in the computer or something like that, and turn them into attractive trading cards, like the one that I'm showing you right now. So this is, for example, a Mayan book. Okay, I don't know if you know this scientist. Her name is, let me see. Here in the review, I can see Jane. So she is like very famous, and this is my own book. And one student decided to create a really short review about that book that that person read. So you can somehow connect not only this digital application that I'm showing you right now, but the idea here is to invite you to use like or remember the information that Angelica and Gabriel gave you in the previous webinars and start making connections. Yes, you can take advantage of all these digital tools, but here you have to put your creativity, on the table and start working with it. Okay, so as you can see, this is like something really nice for students and attractive for them to share with somebody else. And as I was telling you, you can start working with the speaking skill, because if you want, you can create like some rooms, okay, in which they're going to share that information from those books that they read in an oral way, and they're going to have like this trading card as a source, okay, for them to guide when you're speaking. All right. Not only this, if you want to connect with Mayan, it is like a great idea, but also you can actually use big, huge labs. This application in order to, create like attractive activities for students about any topic. For example, here we have my favorite birthday party. So you can ask your students to go and look for a beautiful birthday picture that they took on their favorite birthday parties and create a trading card. So if you want, from the teacher's instructions, you can ask your students to make a short description about that birthday party, and of course you will be working with the simple past. Yes, and here, for example, there is that description from one student, and that student is like describing all those activities that he did in his favorite birthday party. And here he just posted like his favorite picture from that day. But you can also create trading cards about different topics, as I told you. Here, this is like this is an activity it is like a present continuous activity. So that person is like describing all the activities that he is doing while enjoying that city. Okay, in this case, New York. And right here, my hero. So you can see that uh, also students are using like pictures from different sources, so students will be able not only to use those photos that they have on their devices, but also they can look for different pictures on the web, and they can create these beautiful trading cards in which they're not only practicing with writing, but also if you create like that space for them to somehow share that information, they're going to have the chance to develop the speaking skills well. Okay. Now, what I want to, what I want you to, what I want you to, okay, here, Richmond Learning Platform. This is something that was mentioned before as well. I mean, in the previous webinars by our experts. This is another Richmond platform, and I bet that most of the teachers that are here with us use the Richmond Learning Platform. And most of the times, you teachers are using, of course, those activities that are already there for you to assign, okay, in order to take advantage of the platform. But sometimes you are forgetting this really important, like, feature that the Richmond Learning Platform has. And that one is communications. From the communications section, you can create forum topics. So once again, for example, here I'm connecting. Describe your favorite birthday party. So do you remember that here we have this one, this information, my favorite birthday party. So you can also ask your students to use the forum. You can set like attractive or appealing topics for students to work here on this forum. It is really important to take advantage of all those like features that the platforms have. So, you know, you help the students work like more like in a communicative way, like in a more interactive way, because you can use the forum and you can ask your students to, for example, write down 3 affirmative sentences, 3 negative sentences, and 3 interrogative sentences. Yes, but that is not communicative at all. The idea with a forum is that the students have like a different space for them to practice in an interactive way. Okay, so that's why you have to come up with like some attractive topics for them to express their ideas. And as you know, teachers, the only chance students have in order to practice with their English is during the English class, and that's it, or within the English classroom. That's it. Once they leave that classroom, or then, or once you, I mean, the class is over, they're going to switch into Spanish, and they don't have like another person or a partner or a relative to practice English with. So if you can create like different spaces, different from the English class, it would be great for your students to start like putting into practice everything you are teaching them and everything they're learning, okay, but in different spaces. So in that way, like they have more opportunities to learn. Something really important here is that, as you can see, you can leave a comment. And as I was mentioning with my of course, the rest of the students can read what others are commenting, and they can actually, you know, leave a comment as well. All right. So in that way, it becomes a communicative activity. Okay, and it becomes meaningful. So the students somehow understand that the English class is not only for them to memorize like grammar structures or a list of vocabulary in order to pass an exam, okay, pass the year, okay, or take a quiz, and that's it. But they understand that the language is going to help them like express their ideas. Everything that you as teachers are, of course, teaching them is going to help them to express their ideas, communicate something that they really like. Okay, so the idea is that you have to connect, the students' interests, backgrounds, likes, and stuff. So in that way, English is going to become meaningful for your students. All right. Here there is like an icon, a camera that you can use. So you can also, if you want, you can leave a comment by using a video. All right. It is not that you're going to click on this icon and then you're going to be able to record yourself. You have to record yourself in advance, I mean previously, and then you can upload that video over there, or you can use pictures, or you just can leave a comment by writing. Okay. So that's it. Angelica, I would like to know if there's a question on the chat or something like that.
Well, actually, Andres, no, there are not too many questions. There are just some positive comments about the Richmond Learning Platform. Teachers seem to be happy about it. They say that it is a wonderful tool. It is a great platform. It has helped a lot during this COVID situation. You can assess your students in all the skills according to the projects. That's about Mayon. Actually, there was a teacher who was asking about Mayon, and well, in case you want to have more information, you can ask your academic consultant to see how that you can get the platform for your school. Um, well, we have Jay Barrios says, well, this platform really helped me as a teacher with my students. So if you see teachers are happy with it. And Andres, I think something that we didn't know, because to be honest, that this is kind of new for me, is like the options that you have to interact with your classmates as pictures, as links, as videos. I think that's nice, because sometimes forums, they're kind of, or they restrict the things that you can do. Just they think that is just text, but no, it's not necessary. There are many different things that you can use to interact with your classmates. So that's
Right.
nice.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. So yeah, the Richmond Learning Platform has a lot of things to offer. You just have to play with it, okay, and getting to know it a little bit more, and that's it, okay. And of course, take advantage of it. Something really important, teachers, is that, as you know, sometimes when we ask our students to come up with a written report, they sometimes are somehow like afraid of making mistakes, so they don't want to share what they wrote, because they don't, because I mean sometimes they have like some grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes,
Mhm.
and they don't want like others to see all those mistakes, or probably the teacher, because the teacher is going to make corrections and stuff. So you have to help your students. You have to help your students with like different digital tools, all right, that allow them to somehow revise and come up with a final version, okay, really well written. And so in that way, they're going to become more confident. And one
Okay.
of those digital tools that you can use is Grammarly. But before we go to Grammarly, I just wanted to connect this, like the trading cards that I was mentioning before, with one feature that the Richmond Learning Platform has. For example, the class library. Right here in the class library, you can also, for example, upload the trading card. So you can share that card with your teacher, all right? And in that way, you are connecting like different platforms and digital tools. And as I was telling you, sometimes the students are, I mean, they want to make sure that their reading reports are perfect, or they are well written. So what you can do is to let your students know about those digital tools that help them to revise their work, so they can actually take advantage of those tools in order to feel more confident, and share that information that they want to expressed in a written way with the rest of the people, with the rest of the class. As I told you, Grammarly is going to help students do that because this application correct spelling. Okay, it checks mixed mistakes. It helps students to rewrite, and as I was telling you, come up with the final version. So when they feel really sure that they're not making mistakes, so they're going to feel like confident in order to share all those ideas that they wrote with everybody. And this application suggests the synonym of the existing word. So sometimes we don't know what word is the right one or the most suitable to use in a particular like situation or topic. So Grammarly is going to help you with that. And of course, it helps teachers like and students, of course, identify plagiarism. So for example, you're writing something, if you copy and paste, you know that students do that a lot. So Grammarly is going to tell the student, okay, be careful because this is like another person's ideas. So you gotta paraphrase or something, okay? So you gotta do something. But you cannot, like copy and paste others' ideas because that is called plagiarism. And in order for you teachers to get a little bit more familiar with Grammarly, I mean with the different activities and features that it has, I just want you to take a look at this video. It is a really short video, but you will be able to somehow understand how it works. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I just want to I just want to highlight some feature that I consider really powerful and important. Let me play it again. So as you can see here, it is not that Grammarly is going to correct your written reports, because then we are not doing anything as teachers. As you can see here, what the digital tool is doing is telling the student or letting the student know that probably that idea he or she is expressing can be expressed like in a different way. So for example, here it is saying that the sentence appears to be written in the passive voice, and the digital tool is suggesting to turn that sentence into an active voice one. You see, so it means that, of course, the digital application is not doing the students' work, is like providing students with really rich information in order for them to shape their reading reports, which is differently. Okay, so that's why Grammarly is really important. Let's take a look at another one. Here, for example, as I was telling you, there are some words that sometimes when you are like writing an academic paper are not that important. So here with Grammarly, you're going to be able to, once again, like get a better version of that first draft that you wrote. Punctuation is really important when you are writing and you want to convey a message. It has to be really well organized. so the message can be understood. So punctuation, as you know, teachers, is really important, and Grammarly is helping your students to, uh, improve in terms of punctuation. And that's it. Okay. There is another one.
Andres,
Yes.
about this one, I think that something very, very important about this is sometimes it is difficult for us as teachers to be 100% of the time with our students. Yes. And they need somehow someone to help them with their work. And I think this is a very good tool that we can teach our students to use, because it's like they have their teacher all the time with them, right? So it's going to help them a lot, and it's going to help them with self-assessment, not just well it's like someone is helping me with my homework, but then they're going to realize, because there is explanation about what's exactly what their mistakes are, right? So I think it's great. Some teachers are asking if this tool is for free.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. As you know, Angelica, all tools that we have available over there on the web, they have like the free version and the premium version. Okay.
mhm,
And well, Grammarly is for free and you can use it. And most of the powerful features the video was showing are for free. So you have to go and download it and start using it, playing with it, and take advantage of it. Yes,
mhm,
something really important you were mentioning, Angelica, is self-assessment. Of course, this is like a, yeah, you get the teacher everywhere, okay, anytime, but
mhm,
at the same time, the students are going to somehow become their, conscious or aware about their own learning process.
mhm.
All right, so this is like,
Okay.
I mean, by using these digital tools, you are promoting those like self-assessment techniques, okay? And of course, the students are going to be able to evaluate themselves. And afterwards, when they are like sharing the final version of their reading report, so we can also, like create a space for them to work with peer assessment. Okay, so they can check others' written reports and they can help each other in order to improve their writings or identify probably a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake. So that part is really, really important. Thank you very much, Angelica, for bringing that information, because assessment is really important. Okay, so good. But Angelica, and teachers, you can also use a different one. I mean, Grammarly is excellent. It is a really powerful tool, but there is another one. There is another one, and that one is Write and Improve. And Write and Improve is aligned with the Common European Framework of Reference. And you're going to have like different activities over there. The activities or the topics are already like developed, waiting for you teachers and waiting for the students to start writing about those topics. They are classified in different categories or different levels. So they have like tasks, beginner tasks, intermediate, and advanced tasks that you can, that students can take advantage of. You as teachers can create like different topics. If you want your students to write about a particular or a specific topic you're working with during the class, so you can actually do it. All right. And once again, you're going to get feedback. Okay. While they're using Write and Improve, as we saw with Grammarly, you're going to get instant feedback. Okay. From, of course, that digital tool. So that's why I just want to show you another video so you can get familiar with it. This time we're not gonna watch the whole video because it takes like 5 minutes. We're gonna watch like 2 or 3 minutes, and we're going to pay attention to, like the main characteristics that Write and Improve has. And this time I want you teachers to leave a comment about the special, or in your opinion, the most important like feature that Write and Improve has. Okay, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to leave a really long paragraph over there in the chat. I just want you to pay attention to every single detail, every single activity that students can do there, and every single like feature teachers can work with, and leave a comment by, saying that your favorite, your favorite feature is this or that. Okay, that's what I want you to do. So we're gonna watch this video so you can get a little bit more familiar with this tool. Give me a second. Oh boy. Okay, it is not running right now.
Don't worry, Andre. Well, while you work on that, I can read some of the comments of the teachers. Students get the immediate feedback when they use Grammarly. It seems to be that some of our teachers have used it before. We have Write and Improve is great. It means that, of course, other teachers, they have used this one. We have they mentioned that there is a free version of Grammarly, and of course they mentioned that if you want to get the whole thing, it is necessary for you to pay to get the full version and to get the whole thing, right? What else do we have here? Teachers, well, while we work on our video, it is important for you to remember that there is a link where you can register your attendance. If you register your attendance on the first one, on the second one, and on the third one, it means on this one, you will receive a certificate on your participation on this. How well your academic consultant is going to give you more information later. When we finish with this, they are going to give you all the information that's necessary for you to receive your certificate. Okay? So
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready. So here we're gonna take a look at this.
To support their students, as well as encouraging learners to have a go themselves. Learners can dive straight in, no need to register or log in, and it's free to use. The potential to write and to improve is accessible to learners at every level of ability, from schools and colleges to the world of business and commerce. To engender and sustain a real enthusiasm for learning, Write and Improve offers a wide range of subjects to write about. There are different levels depending on the learner's capabilities, along with the range of prompts which reflect what a learner might face in their exams. From the student's perspective, the system is beautifully simple. You write, you submit your work, Write and Improve reviews and returns it in a matter of seconds. This very simplicity underlines the dynamic power of the tool. Not only is it fast, but it is also context-aware. In other words, it can assess whether a student's response is relevant to what was asked. In fact, the system comprehensively coaches the learner and helps them to focus on areas of improvement. One of the most exciting features of Write and Improve is the intelligence with which it gathers and incorporates data progressively through use. And as the tool refines itself, it engages the user, encouraging them to take personal responsibility for their development. And this is just the beginning. Write and Improve's data is a vital input in a variety of wider research projects run at Cambridge. The great joy of the system is the sheer functionality and flexibility of Write and Improve. The clue is in the name. The student can write and submit, then using the feedback, rewrite and resubmit again and again, gradually correcting and refining before moving on to a different topic with a new vocabulary and new challenges. It would be stretching it to claim that Write and Improve has a personality, but learners are encouraged to feel that they have an expert by their side as they learn, supporting them and coaxing them to move up the levels. As a special encouragement, they are awarded badges of different grades to celebrate their achievements, which they can share with other learners, friends, and family. Workbooks are a powerful way for learners to create and customize their work, as well as share their experience with fellow learners. Teachers can also assign workbooks to a whole class and then track their progress. We could go on, demonstrating the amazing functionality of Write and Improve. Suffice it to say that after just a couple of trial runs, most learners will move naturally.
Okay, teacher, so as you can see, there are like different levels, there are like different features you can use by using this Write and Improve tool. So what I told you before, I just want you to leave a comment and let us know what is like that feature that you consider the most powerful one this tool has to offer. So go ahead. In the meantime, I'm gonna go back to my presentation while you leave your comments, and Angelica, if you want, you can let me know what are those like features the teachers are mentioning, please.
Of course. Well, some of them mentioned that maybe this is the first time that they heard about this one. But some others tried. Okay, Write and Improve. It is by English levels and helps with accuracy. Other teachers mentioned that it is very, very interesting. Let me see. Maybe some of the teachers, actually, one of the teachers shared the link to the webpage, writeandimprove.com. Let me see what other comments we have here. It seems to be that the first time that they hear about it. So it is a new tool for most of our teachers. Then you're really helping them, Andres, with these new tools.
That's great. Okay, so as you could see in that video, Write and Improve use some badges or prizes in order to motivate students, and when you're using this type of prizes, you are like using or working with those gamification principles. And the gamification is something really important because you can somehow turn something that is a little bit boring, like sometimes studying and stuff, into something really fun. Okay, but it's like gamification principles, and our next digital application deals with it. And that one, don't know if you remember during the first webinar. I mean, in the first webinar, Gabriel Jaimes prepared the whole presentation. I mean, the whole webinar by using Genial. Okay, so he created this presentation by using this application, and as you can see, you have like lots of features you can use when planning and delivering your classes, like presentations, infographics, interactive images, video presentations, and stuff. But also there is a special section for gamification. And right here, for example, you have like this beautiful board game, Jumanly because of Genially, all right? But it is like a template that it is there for you to edit, okay? And here you have the dice, you can roll the dice. Here you have the chips, so you can move these chips, all right? Okay, you just can move it, students can move it, and every time that they're like, for example, in these icons, you as teachers can come up with a question. Okay, in the editing process, you can write down a question, or you can challenge your students to do something unusual or something like that. Okay, I bet that you have better ideas, but the I mean, my point is that you have like these templates ready for you to be used. Okay, so you can take advantage of Genially, and you can start like working with these gamification principles within in your classes. And well, I just want to share these other games that you have here, because I mean, you have like endless activities, templates, games, in order to, make the most out of them, and of course boost your classes. As I was telling you before, the idea is that you have to connect like digital tools, all those digital tools that were presented today, and those digital tools that Angelica and Gabriel taught us in the previous webinars.
Andres, something interesting. Oh well, I remember when I was at school, when teachers wanted to use games in classes. I mean, maybe they used PowerPoint to create a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right?
All right, okay.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those, and we were happy and excited, but this is something totally. I mean, this is I mean, it's different, right?
It's different. Of course, it is different. And as you were mentioning, Angelica, uh, sometimes when we were creating that game that you were mentioning, the teachers, I mean, we took a lot of time. Yes, I mean, teachers take a lot of time. It is time demanding, because you have to, be careful, and you have to move this and that in order to come up with a really well designed game. But here you have everything done. Okay, so you have to click on that game that you want to use in your classes, and then you are going to allow your students to have fun while learning. Thank you very much, Angelica. And following with that line, I mean the gamification one, there is another one. There is another one that is called Taboo Online, and I don't know if you remember, that is like a card game, but now it is like digitalized, so now you can use your cell phones in order to work, to play with it. And it is all about getting a word. Okay, you get this word, for example apple, and you have to describe that word in order for the others to try to guess the word you're trying to describe. Yes, they gotta guess, and you have to describe. But it is really challenging, because you cannot use the words that are below the word, the big word. I mean, the one that has to be guessed. You cannot use computer, you cannot use iPhone, you cannot use these words that are here. So it means that somehow the students are a little bit pushed or challenged in order to look for more vocabulary, and in that way they will be able to, like, increase that vocabulary repertoire, and in that way, of course, they are going to be able to communicate in a better way when they have the chance to do it. All right.
Andres, I have to be honest. I really like this one a lot. I like it because it's an excellent warm up, for example, for your classes. Yes, or a wrap up. It's a different way to dynamize your classes, and I like this one a lot. And I have a teacher here, Ana Carolina Herrera, and she mentioned that she even used Taboo when she was a student. Yes, it's not a new thingy, because I remember there were some cards. Now it is totally digitalized. So
that's great. Okay, that's good. So yeah, gamification is something that can boost your classes a lot, because, for example, here when students are like playing, they have to speak, they have to interact, they have to take turns, they have to answer questions, they have to negotiate. They have to negotiate meaning. So you are like providing your students to actually use what they're learning, okay, during the class. Okay, in terms of grammar, in terms of vocabulary, these are the spaces they need in order to communicate once again in a meaningful way. All right. So Games are really, really important. And there is another application, Nearpod. I bet that you know it. It has, of course, games as well, but also it provides teachers with with different activities for them to plan their classes. Like for example, these ones that I'm showing you right now. You can create a collaborative board in which students have to, post their answers, or an open question, okay, activity. So the students are going to have the chance to express their ideas. Sometimes you know that when you ask your students, there are always, I mean, the people that are participating all the time are the same ones, okay? And it is because of many variables. Sometimes the students do not want to participate because they don't want to make mistakes, because they are not confident enough, because well, they just don't want to be heard by others. They don't have anything to say. Sometimes when we ask our students right away, they don't have the answer. So with this type of collaborative boards, you are allow them to, think of their answers, and they can write them down. Okay, you are providing every single student the chance to participate, to express their thoughts. Even if they are shy, they can take their time in order to come up with a really well organized answer. Okay, now that we were talking about Grammarly and Write and Improve, so before they actually post something, they can use those applications, and they're going to feel a little bit more sharing their ideas. Once again, it is really important for you teachers to give the chance for every single learner to communicate and to express themselves. So with this type of activities, you will be able to do it. Because as I was telling you, we always have our students, the same students that are participating all the time, and the others are like somehow living behind. All right. So moreover, you can actually see or read what they're writing down, and you can provide those students with instant feedback, okay, which is really important. You don't have to wait till the end of the term or till the end of the class, or you don't have to check paper by paper in order to provide students with rich feedback. You can do it instantly. Okay, that's good. And of course, there are more collaborative boards like Padlet and other applications that you already know. And as you could see here in the activities that a Nearpod allow teachers to create, there is something that says Flipgrid. Don't know if you are familiar with it. However, you can connect Nearpod with Flipgrid, and you can allow your students to come up with beautiful videos or attractive videos in order to answer a question or a topic that you create. Because with Flipgrid, you're gonna be able, as a teacher, you're gonna be able to create topics, okay, and students are going to have the chance to answer to those topics that you set as teachers in by means of a video. Okay, they can post video responses. So that way, you're going to help them develop the speaking skill. For example, here there are different topics: the best place on earth, futuristic jobs, daily life activities report, inventions. So it doesn't matter the topic you're working with. You can create a Flipgrid topic, and the students are going to be able to record themselves and answer or say something about that topic. It depends on the task and instructions you give your students. Here, there is one example. You're going to get all those videos that students are posting right here. So you can go over them, you can check them, and of course, you can give them feedback. All right. And as we were mentioning with the forums, here, those video responses can also be commented. So that's something great. And here we are promoting once again communication, interaction. And something really important is that if students want to activate this closed caption, well, it is not if they want. You as teachers, like, you should encourage them to activate the closed captions feature after posting their videos, so they can see that probably they are mispronouncing some words, because while they are speaking, the subtitles are going to be there on the video. And as you can see here in this example, we it says, because it is a city with milk weather, it is a city with milk weather and unit. So as you can see, this student is talking about weather. Yeah, she's talking about weather, but probably the word milk and the word unit were not the ones that she wanted to use when expressing her ideas. So what do you think, teachers, those words are? If she's talking about weather, what would be this word? This word? Was it milk, the word that she wanted to use? Was it unit, the one that she wanted to use? I don't know. I know, but what do you think? Does it make any sense? Probably not. And that's why, and it is happening because the student mispronounce those words. So the message, the real message she wanted to convey is affected. And that's really important. So the students have to be aware about the importance of pronunciation when speaking, so their messages can be understood and comprehended by the other person. Okay, let me help you a little bit. I don't know, Angelica, it's probably a teacher left a comment and that teacher figure out what the words were, or
No,
no?
no yet. I think they're trying to figure things out because of the lack of context. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. There is not enough context for them to come up with the words that the student wanted to use. But actually, what she was trying to say was mild weather, mild, M-I-L-D, mild weather. I don't know. Yeah, because she stopped here when she was speaking, because she didn't remember the word weather. That's why there is a comma. But she was trying to say mild weather and humid, I think, something like that. But as she mispronounced, well, the message is not the one that she wanted to express. So you can ask your students to go back and check their videos, activate the closed caption feature, and evaluate themselves. Okay, so that's a really nice strategy if you want to use Flipgrid. And with the following video, we're gonna finish. Okay, I'm going to let you know a little bit more Flipgrid, and here you have like more characteristics. Okay, so this is
Great.
There you go. You have all the information, lots of digital tools. The invitation here, teachers, that once again, you have to take advantage of all those tools that you have available. There are some free tools that you can start using right now. And remember, all those platforms and digital tools that were presented before in the previous webinars and try to make connections and, of course, boost your classes. Your students are going to appreciate that.
Yeah, Andres, and something important to say here is that sometimes we have the resources, but we haven't like played enough with them. So sometimes we're missing some important features. The invitation with these three webinars are okay if you're RLP users, if you are my own users, if you're English Attack users. I mean, play with them, try to use them as much as you can, because teachers, you have no idea all the features that you can find there and how much they can help you with your classes.
That's right, Angelica. Well said. Wisely said. Okay, I was reading some comments that teachers are living there. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Now you got the link that Angelica was mentioning, so you can enter your information. And that's it. Thank you very much for your participation, attention, and this is the end. Very nice webinars about technology.
Andres, I think teachers learned a lot, and well, they have enough tools to just dynamize their classes, and the important thing is that they can use them, and that the students can just improve their skills in English. I think that's the most important thing.
Exactly. Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
having said that, thank you very much. Goodbye and see you next time, teachers. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you very much. And Andres, thanks again for everything. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks, teachers.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.